Hey everyone, another quick book review. Slightly irregular for me, I suppose. This is kind of a new thing. This is obviously Flight Path by Ian Andrew, marked as a Wright and Tran novel because Wright and Tran are the two kind of lead ladies. But why? Personally, why you'd call it Wright and Tran when they never get referred to as Wright or Tran is, I don't know, why not just call them by their first names, because that's what they do in the book. Anyway, beside the point, this is flagged as a detective story, so there's very little I can say without giving anything away. So in order to avoid that kind of silliness where I give away something about the story of Flight Path, I will say that for a start, I don't find it terribly detective-like. I find it way more militaristic, and the lead characters, in fact, I think most of the characters you encounter are military trained, and it kind of screams of a kind of British version of Reacher. Not the same, but the same kind of vein, I suppose, in that kind of retired military investigator types doing stuff. That's a bit vague. So Flight Path is, to be quite honest, I don't know Ian Andrew, I don't know where he's come from, but it's pretty good. Like, it's really hard to kind of put down and stop. And there may be a caveat to that as to why that happened for me personally, because a lot of the early parts of this book are set in a part of the world that I live in or near or next to, or, keep it vague. It's set fairly locally. So at the start, I was reading stuff essentially from like a thriller that was happening in a place that I knew, that I was like, you have no idea how unrealistic it is to set something thrilling to happen in that town. Because thrilling things do not happen in that town. But I don't know, it was kind of nice. It was different, right? They started off in one place and I was like, oh, I know that place. And they went to another place. I was like, I know that place as well. And it was kind of bizarre. But nice. It's just, for someone who doesn't know the places, I imagine you'd just buy into the story and you'd be like, oh yeah, that could happen. For me personally, having known the places, I was like, excuse me, no. But that didn't take away from my enjoyment. I could still see what someone else would think about it. So yeah, this, again, as flagged, the Wright and Tran novel. There's multiple Wright and Tran novels. This is not the first, as you can see, because they are back. That did not stop my enjoyment of this story. You can dive in off the beaten path, so you don't have to start with book one or anything, because obviously I haven't. And yeah, I think Ian Andrew, whoever the chap might be, has done a pretty good job in writing a military investigation thriller. And the kind of page turner, the kind of, I need a bit more, that is similar to Dan Brown. Now, it's not the same. Like, I'm not expecting Ian Andrew to do a Dan Brown in any way, shape or form. But the last time I felt the kind of pull into the pages, as this kind of gave me, was with a Dan Brown book that I was enjoying. So take that as you will. But yeah, I'm kind of sorry that I can't say anything else about the story, but I really can't without kind of spoiling anything. And that's kind of the point of a thriller, isn't it? And a page turner, like, you don't want to know, so you keep on chugging. But yeah, it's I will say this. Some people are particularly vulnerable to certain things. This is not a book for the weak of heart, the weak-stomached, those easily shocked or offended. They cover some fairly dark stuff, some fairly dark things happen, and in the first instance especially, it really kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, it just kind of happens, bam, bam, bam. 3 pages later, you've gone from being what you were to being something completely bloody different. And it was a little bit of a slap in the face. I fully appreciate that that was probably the intention, but as a first-time reader of Ian Andrew and anything he's ever written, I was not particularly expecting it. So it does get very adult content like, and that's as much as I'll say about that. So yeah, I think for a random book that I picked up blind at a random bookstore, I think this was sold wrapped, and the person in the bookshop had written a few things on the front like military thriller, local locations, that kind of stuff, and then like you just pick it up and go, oh, I don't know what I've got here, and then you open it and you just kind of go for it. So yeah, as far as a blind buy goes, I think this has been a remarkable success. So I would recommend Flight Path, the Right and Tram novels, although I will say I don't feel compelled to carry on or go back to the Right and Tram characters in any way. This was a one and done for me. I'm happy I've one and done it, but I am one and doing it. There will be no follow-ups. So yeah, if you've read it or if you feel inclined to, you know where I'll be. I'll be in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Farewell.